Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. This is HILLIBEE Creek. This is a new mod map out by Gamer Designs, 219.68 megabytes to download. The map looks like this. So, it does say in the description, starting a new farmer, you have to make a choice of being a farmer or logger to start with. In all fairness, you don't have to. You can do both, really. Top of the map, north of the main river, is all, well, there's a lot of woodland still here. We've got farmland and we've got a few productions and things to look at. To the south, we've got mostly forest. So if you don't want to do forestry, you don't have to. You can stick to the northern part. Field prices and plots actually aren't too bad. I'm a new farmer, as I always am when I do my map tours, and these are the plots you start with. Now, there are some plots you're going to have to buy for icons to appear. The buildings are there, but icons will need to appear. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, we do have here a cow pasture. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, that isn't there. So that would be something you'd have to buy and place if you wanted to, just as a warning. If you particularly wanted that, as we go around, you'll see. There is a train that runs around the top half of the map. That does pick up lumber but it's a pick up lumber. It pays you for lumber, but we'll get to that later on. So as I said, prices of plots are pretty good. We look at the plot there, 11,000. These are quite small plots, to be fair. But then we've got ones like this that encompass quite a few plots of land plus some woodland. That's only 115 grand, so not too expensive. These ones, again, sort of largish plots, 146 grand. And then we come down to our forestry plots, 69, 151, 134. So prices, not too bad at all. I'm going to have to put some money in, because as we go around, there's a few plots we're going to need to buy. I've got to remember where they all are. I'll try to remember where they all are as we go around, but we do start over here at what I would say is the main farm area. That plot itself is 146 grand. So if you come onto your Farm Manager and Start from scratch, you'll need to buy that. Well, you don't need to buy that plot. You can obviously place your plot anywhere you like. We don't start with a sleep trigger on any of the game modes. There is a farmhouse, but where my little arrow is flashing, but it's not a sleep trigger. So if you wanted to put a sleep trigger in, you can. There are loads to choose from in the mod hub, from pillows and boots and all sorts of things, all up to like full-blown mansions. So whatever you wanted to go with. The other thing to be aware of on New Farmer, we do also have the first production chain, or one of them, and that's the sawmill for wood planks. If we go back up to the map and click, that's this plot here. So we have the sawmill as well. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, you won't have that plot either. I mean, you don't have any of the plots because obviously on those you don't own any land, but so you don't start with the sawmill, but on New Farmer you do. Contracts are available. Let's come down off of here. I did wonder for a start when I came out. I thought, have I not got the interactive icons on? But that's not a sleep trigger there. And we do have a map with a little bit of a key, just to give you an idea. It tells you exactly where you are, which is very helpful. We'll talk about slot counts as well while we're here. Slot count on New Farmer is 1,201. And we've got a few bits of machinery. As you can see, the pickup's looking like it needs a bit of TLC, and it does. And there's a few bits of machinery as well. If we click on here and go to, where are we? That one. You'll see that the ones in red where the spanner is, they're on 0 for repair. So they're going to need a bit of work. Some are at 30. And the rest are at 100%. So some of your gear is old and it's going to need a bit of repair work. So we're going to jump in here. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, the slot count comes down to 1,016. And as I said, you don't start with the cow pasture, and you don't start with any machinery or equipment. So we'll whiz around and have a look at our start machinery. It's an interesting map, and it does say upcoming plans. Add collectibles, add more productions, add traffic. So yeah, I mean, it also does say any bug reports or feedback, please contact me on my Facebook page, so Gamer Design's Facebook page. I do like it when map makers and modders are open to, and that's not criticism as well, don't go on the Facebook page and just hammer them about something. If you've got constructive criticism, go on and just say, look, I found this, I found that, and 9 times out of 10 you might get an update and things get changed. So I haven't found a workshop trigger, and there's not one at the main garage either, the vehicle store. But here's some of the equipment we start with. I'll run through the list. We've got a Mahindra touch through the back there, and then we've got our sort of implements and our John Deere harvester and stuff over here. So if we go into this one and scroll down, owned items, we've got the Bura 6105 under medium tractors, the John Deere 7810. We've got a 7R 290. We've got harvester. Obviously, they're not all here. Under forestry machines, we've got the Rotner H21D and the F20D. If you don't want to do forestry at all, you can sell those. It does say with minimum equipment, you can sell off your unused equipment to buy more for your desired path. So you've got the equipment to do logging and farming, and if you want to pick one or the other, then you can sell off the stuff you don't need. Then we've got the pickup and the Mahindra. Hang on, what happened there? The Cramper trailer, we've already seen. The header for the trailer. We've got a Pertinger plough, Lemken cultivator, power harrow, seeder, Lemken planter, and then we've got a forestry Kesler trailer. Now that's interesting. Where's leased items? Okay, that's curious, because under owned items, you'll see when we go around, I actually put something on my list and I put owned, but it's not. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, that's the fuel. I'll say, is that the workshop trigger? That's the fuel tank. So we've got a fuel tank around the back, which is empty. There's a couple of fuel tanks knocking about. We have got, up around the back here, the farm silo. Now this is fixed in place. I did try to remove the farmhouse and the silo when I was having a kind of a whiz around the map, but I couldn't remove it, and it's not showing as available to place either in the build mode. I'm not sure the capacity, however, it does take all the regular crop types, plus potato, sugar beet, sugarcane, seed and wood chips. A little bit like the transfer silos you get for trains. And we do have 2 transfer silos, then we've got 2 transfer silos on the map. So what we're going to do is head off. I'm also going to just borrow some money from the bank, because I'm going to need it for buying some plots. So we are heading east at the moment. As you see to the south, well, that forest area is, it is raised. It's a little bit more kind of mountainous and hilly as we go to the south. We will get to that in a little while. But where it says about upcoming plans to add collectibles, add more productions, what I am liking as well, on quite a lot of these areas, it's nice and open and flat. There are some fences and stuff here and there, but there's plenty of scope for productions and adding things in and landscaping and putting in new roads and whatever you want to do. There's a lot of scope for doing that, which I think makes it quite versatile as well. So looking down my list, I said contracts are available. Oh yeah, build mode, sorry. If we go into build mode, under sheds, I think we've got a shed at the end. There we go, HILLIBEE Creek mod, a hay shed. Under silos, there wasn't anything. That's what I mean, that silo that we start with isn't available as one you can then place. Nothing on silo extensions. Containers, we've got some fuel tanks, and there's the Karma 16. Those ones do seed and mineral feed. There's one of those, which we'll get to in a bit. Under tools, I don't think there was anything. Farmhouses, standard farmhouses. Productions, we do have an added biofuel production. We get to that, that's really cool actually. All the things you can put into that, you can see the things swinging across side to side there. There's corn and sunflower and wood chips and all sorts, so not only can you produce methane, electricity, you can produce biofuel as well. That's really cool, I do like that. And then we've got a carpentry there as well. The modded sell points, I don't think there was anything. Greenhouses, we have a HILLIBEE Creek greenhouse mod, which again we'll get to later on. Nothing under orchards or generators. Animals, the only thing we have got under animals is under cows. That's what I said about the custom large cow pasture. Holds 25 cows, so unlike the cow pasture, the standard one, which is 75 grand and holds 15, this is 20 grand and holds 25, so it holds a few more and it's a bit cheaper, which is quite cool. Nothing under any of the other animals. Decoration, I don't think there was anything, and landscaping it was fairly standard under painting, textures and plants as well. So no other mods put in by the map maker, so no vehicles or anything like that. We're going to head south. I'm going to cut through the trees and we'll get down to the railroad track to start off with. There was a couple of bits that were, and when I read it on the thing, it's the same as doing any map tour. When you read the description, you read the notes the map makers put in, sometimes you have to kind of decipher what it means, and you read through and think, okay, and you have to then go looking for whatever parts it was they've alluded to or mentioned. The first of which is here as we do the crossing. It does say, and it really threw me, it says off the map creek crossing behind south train silo to the forestry area. The south train silo is just there. That's a transfer silo and or storage silo, so you can put your stuff into that, put it into the train, or bring the train there and unload from the train and into silo, whichever way around you want to do it. There's also a rent train point we're going to look at. The crossing is here, and I think what it means is if we go on to here and up to the map, we are currently here. It's not showing. There's not showing as a crossing now. I think that's maybe what it means when it says off the map creek crossing. So when it's off the map, I'm thinking, how does that work? But no, it's here. It's actually really cool. When we come down to the bottom, you've got quite a deep river here, but you've got a little ford here that's been built up with some rocks and some gravel in the bottom, so you can cross over into the forest just here as well. Nice feature. It's, you know, and it's, I tend to, if I'm doing the map tours, I'll show off the production chains, sell points, things like that, and if there's any features that stand out or things the map maker has specifically mentioned, I like to kind of show them off if I can. So transfer silo is here. So like I say, you can dump from the train into the silo, in here to the silo, and then the train can come and collect it, and then we can take out the silo from there as well. This is a standard, a standard railroad silo in that it holds, I mean, pretty much the stuff I mentioned already. Potato, sugar beet, sugarcane seed, wood chips. There might be a couple of other things. Anyway, we can rent the train, and there's quite a few rent train points as we go around. If you haven't encountered them before, if you're new to the game, when you come to these, actually I should open that menu as well. That will help. Press L3, you can rent the train for 1,000 per hour. So unlike previous versions of the game where you can just jump on the train and drive around it, you have to call the train will come, you can load onto it, and then you can send it off again, or you can drive it if you want to. But it costs you, as it says there, 1,000 per hour. If you only use it for part hour, I have found I've only ever been charged for part hours. Some people said they've been charged regardless. I've only ever found I've been charged for part hours. Now what I need to do is, let's get some funds in. I'll see you just in a moment. Okay, so as we go around, there are going to be some plots that we're going to need to buy. Because as we get to them, you can see things that aren't showing on the map. So the buildings are there, but for the icons to appear on the map, sometimes you just have to buy a plot. Over in the left-hand corner of the field just there, we've got the Karma 16 silo, the one I was talking about. That will hold seed or mineral feed. But if we look at the map, it's not showing. So if we go back to the map, there we go. We are currently here. So nothing's showing at the moment, but this plot of land will set you back 115 grand. If we buy that, go down and back up again, you'll see now that it's now showing. So the Karma 16 silo is there and available to be used, and the icons now showing, so you can use them. So you need to buy that plot if you want to use the Karma 16. You can probably remove it as well. I haven't tried to, but if you don't want it there, you can probably get rid of it. Am I going the right way? I think I am, yeah. So we're going to head out of the town. I'm going to say town. Well, I suppose it's a town, isn't it? We've got a little HILLIBEE Creek, or HILLIBEE Farms, just there. Sign. There's not a huge amount of traffic actually. I've got traffic on, but I'm trying to think if I've encountered any traffic at all. Isn't it weird? I was so focused on kind of having a look around the map and seeing what I was doing that I didn't notice. So, forestry areas, HILLIBEE State Forest. There's plenty to be. If you don't want to do forestry, that's fine. There are again under the mods. There's loads of mulchers, stump grinders, tree removers. If you wanted to clear bits of land but you don't want to spend ages logging, there's plenty available. You can go in and do that. To our left then, as I said, on New Farmer you start with it. On Farm Manager you start from scratch, you don't. But just through here, we have got our cow pasture, the one that was modded. 25 cows. As it's a pasture, they do require water as well, and you do start with 20 cows. We go in here, click on it, you'll see we've got brown Swiss and we've got Holsteins already. They're quite happily mooching around in the field. So yeah, if you come onto here on the other two game modes, none of this pens here, it's just open grassland. How easy it would be to put that down here, considering you've got a bit of hilly terrain, or maybe it'll be fine. But anyway, so yeah, that's, you start with that, which is quite cool. With some cows already in, good to go. Next up, where's the gate showing? Oh, there we go. Need to be able to check the gate. So next along the road, we've got Stars and Stripes being proudly displayed. Open the gate here. This is the next plot that will need to be purchased. So we go to our map, we've come up here, round past the cow pasture, and we're now here. So this plot here will set you back 64,860. If I click on that, now again, this could be something you build up to. I'm just trying to show you the things that are on the map that are accessible, and for the icons to appear, you need to buy the plot of land. So this is where the large greenhouse is. I said I would show that later on. If we whiz up the up towards the house here. Now again, you might decide this is where you want your house to be, not where sort of the start equipment is. There's another building shed there, and there are plenty of workshop triggers available again in the mod hub. So the fact I haven't come across one, I mean, that's not to say there isn't one, I haven't found it if there is one. You might decide you want your farmhouse to be here and put a sleep trigger in, that's entirely up to you. But at the back here, we've got a greenhouse. And this is one that was showing as modded. If you click on that, those items are missing. Now we bought the plot of land, they appear there in the production chains. So unlike some maps where you have to buy the land, then buy the production chain, with this one, when you buy the plot of land, you own the production chain. That's kind of how it works. So this one only requires water, but if you look at the cycles per month, 1,536 for tomatoes and strawberries and 768 for lettuce. So pretty rapid actually. That should produce fairly quickly, and it only requires water, doesn't require seed, fertilizer or anything like that on top. So greenhouse, you can put more greenhouses in here. Again, it's fairly flat, so the possibilities for production chains, placeables, buildings, silos, anything like that, pretty good. From here, now I will say actually, I was asked by Stephen. Stephen wasn't the only person, but Stephen's the last person that's asked me recently about when I do map tours, can I show whether the AI works? Now, there is a problem with that, and I'll be honest, because I have found on certain maps where the AI works fairly well, if you try and get a worker to work from a particular point, or it might just be the point I choose to get a worker to try and drive from and to, it might not work. I don't want to show on a map tour and say the AI is rubbish, it doesn't work. And also I can't show the AI workers working from everywhere on the map to everywhere. It's not really possible. I mean, I could show a very simple route and I could say, look, the AI workers really work. They'll go from here to here. That's one journey. Other people might go on and say, well, I've tried other places, and it doesn't work. So it's a difficult one. Unfortunately, AI workers is one of those things that it's going to be, if you like the look of the map, to go on and have a bit of a play around with it yourself. When I'm doing a map tour, I'm showing you the map, showing you the area, showing you sell points and stuff like that, and hopefully helping to inform your decision of whether you want to play on a map or not. I know for some people where the AI workers work well, delivering and stuff, it can be an absolute, it's a massive yes or a massive no, but that would be something you'd have to kind of try out. I know it's not what people want to hear, but that kind of really makes more sense. So, biogas plant, we're at the next plot that we need to purchase. So, we come into here, go back to our map, we're now here, let's just click off that, at this point here. The biogas plant is only 8,684. So, I buy that plot, we've now got our biofuel production, so biogas, biofuel. And what's cool about this, if I click on here, these are all the things it would say: grass, potato, silage, slurry, manure, sugar beet cut, canola, sunflower, corn, wood chips. Now, all of those, if you look at the recipes, will produce some electricity, some methane. You'll get your digestate, and you'll get some fuel. Not all of them do, but some do with various different recipes as we go through. We get to wood chips. Wood chips does all that, and we get fuel as well. So if we look down there, what we're going to be getting out of this is digestate, diesel, and diesel exhaust fluid, which is pretty cool. The electricity and methane, unfortunately, they're not ones that come out as an outgoing product. You'll just get paid for those on the hour, I think, isn't it? Yeah. But the fact you can produce diesel here, that's pretty cool. I like that. And all of those different products you can put into the biofuel production, that's pretty cool. It gives you extra things to do with your crops. I like that a lot. That's cool. That's modded for the map. So that's the biofuels production. If we go from here, we've got a debris crusher. I suppose this is the main town, isn't it? That's a small cluster of houses, let's just say that. There's signs dotted around all over the place. Stone cell, stone can be sold here. Debris crusher, which is just there. To our right, now this isn't the main machinery store, but if we look on the map, let's go back to the map. I know I keep bouncing back and forwards, but I have to because I'm buying it. We've got a lorry and its trailer sat there. Now, that's not under our owned items. And it's not under leased items either, which I'm puzzled by, but it is here. Ah, there's the workshop trigger. That's interesting. But it is available to use. So whilst not showing under owned items or leased, it is there. Brilliant. There's our workshop trigger. It's because it was the other side of the lorry. I kind of drove past, saw the lorry, and thought, oh, fantastic, that's great. And then, so we found the workshop trigger. So the workshop is just here. Continuing. I've got to make sure I don't miss anything. We've got a gas station on the left-hand side. We've got the main vehicle shop. So your buy point, lease point for any machines and vehicles. This is also the reset point, so if you need to reset a vehicle for any particular reason, it will reset back to here. Plenty of open space, no fenced in area, you can drive everything off, so you can use whatever size vehicles and the machinery you want. Just past here, the next plot that we need to buy, if you want to buy it, is this one here. This has got the modded carpentry that the map provides. So back onto the map, we're just at this plot here. That will set you back 9,896. So if we buy that, we've now got our carpentry. Materials missing, yeah. So furniture and wood, carpentry's there. Good to go. From here, where is it next? Oh yeah, I remember now. Just back up to the crossroads. And we've got our livestock market. Again, massive area, open area here. So again, placeables if you want, silos. You might want to put in a sell point for straw and grass, or a buy point, or whatever's available in the mod hub. So there's your livestock market. And then if we go through, I'm just trying to make sure I do the tour as efficiently as possible. If we go across, yeah, I haven't encountered any traffic. We have got the supermarket sell point just round to the left. You see the back of the building just there. Supermarket, and we've got fast food restaurant, which is just through the trees there. So a little bit. So supermarket, fast food restaurant, and then this one here. It says Johnson's Farmers Market. It's down as sell all. And then from here, oh, can't get out of there. Oh, that's interesting. I thought there was a gap in the wall. Just cut across the grass. But again, I suppose if you buy the plots and stuff, you can put in little roadways and stuff that you find you're going to use a lot. From here then, we're going to cross over. Some nice features. There goes the train. Off the kind of main road onto a dirt track. Next rent train point is up here to the north of the map. Let's see if I can catch the train up. We've got a bit of speed. So we're going to go that way. We're going to head to the northwest corner of the map. Come on, we can catch it. So northwest corner map, you've got a big facility. At the moment it's just showing as a rent train point, but that's the next of the transfer silos. So it's a massive silo complex. Again, storage silo, transfer silo. So if you want to put stuff onto the train, take stuff off the train, you can do it here. That's going to get to the crossing before I can. So back to the map. And we've gone through these sell points here, up to the top and followed the track right the way along here. We're now at this point. So if you buy that plot, 23,416, we now get that and that up here. So storage silo, no, say transfer silo to train, rent train point there as well. So putting onto the train, taking off again, bit of space around it because you loan the plot. So if you want to put placeables on here, sell points and things, you absolutely can. And I think that's what I'm finding more and more as I go around while I'm doing this map tour. There's a lot of scope moving forward. It's not a build your own map as such because there's a lot of stuff already on it. But there's so much scope for changing it, making it your own, adding to it. You know, there's always a worry because it says about upcoming plans. If a lot of stuff does get changed, there's always that potential that you could be a long way through having done a load of landscaping and a load of changing, that the new version of that comes out and you need a new save game. That's always a worry. So, you know, if a map's left saying, look, this is the map, you can do what you want with it, that's great. But the fact it does say upcoming plans, I don't know whether I'll be a bit more wary, I think. But anyway, regardless of that, continuing on. We're going to head south now into the forested area because there's a couple of things I want to show you. Features and things that stand out. That's one. This one. I think I'm going the right way. I'm going to cut across the carpentry. Right, we can turn down here. There's a fuel point just there. So if you want to buy that plot of land, there is a fuel tank there which will give you the icons if you buy the plot. That's the only thing on there. There's not any other buildings or production changes like that. So south towards the river, we come to the next crossing point. We've got another rent train point, and just to the right there we've got a little plot that we can buy if we want to. And this is kind of a logging station, logging camp, transfer station. We've got a lot of holders for logs and stuff in preparation. So if you come in here with a load of friends and you want to do a load of logging, and then we've got the ramped platform set up here. So if you want to load onto your train, you can rent the train just there, have the train stopped here, and you can load all your lumber on and send it off on its way, which is pretty cool. There's another one a little bit further along. What we're going to do now is head south and up. And I'll say that, we're going to cross the river. Got to be careful because it does get a little bit bumpy here. As you can see. Now, the reason I'm heading south, when you look at the map initially, and it's all to the south is all forestry, which it is for the most part, there is one small note in the description, and it says stone quarry in back centre of forestry area. So, oh, that's a map. Couldn't really see anything that stood out, so I thought I'd have a bit of a look, a bit of a search. I'm going to cut across here until I find the track. But this is kind of, we're up into our forestry. It's not too tightly packed, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of forestry. You're going to have loads to keep you going for a long time. But there's enough space, and again, if you wanted to, you know, build your cabin, your base of operations up here, you absolutely could. Now I think I need to take the right fork here. I could be going way off here. Let me just check my map. So we come all the way from there, all the way back down through the town. We've taken this track here, come across here. We're now at this point. Oh yeah, not yet. Oh man, I found it perfectly before. No, keep going. I think it's up on the hill actually. There are a few little tracks. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. So this is the track I want to follow. I'll come to a fork and I want to go to the right. I do like the sweeping terrain as well. It's not going to be sort of straightforward logging. It just adds a lot of... I mean, that looks more like a nursery area. Over to that side, more sort of... I mean, there's different tree types. Obviously, you've got pines and firs and stuff, but... yeah. If you like logging, and you like logging with friends on multiplayer and stuff like that, it's a nice map for it, I'm not going to lie. Here we go. Come out into here. We've got a stone quarry. Look at this. No shortage of rock in here. Different levels, different depths. Now I'm gonna make the assumption here, but that plot there being that it's square and it goes right over the top, 40 grand. Buy that. There's not gonna be any icon that pops up, but you'll be able to access it and use it, and again put placeables down, or you might want to transfer all the stone from the quarry and be part of your storyline or whatever you're doing in your Let's Play, all the way up to the debris crusher. You might want to put a debris crusher here. You might, I mean, again, the choices are fairly limitless within the realms of the limits. So, continuing on back along this track, we're going to head down off the, I say escarpment, I suppose, the bit we're going to go back down, and we're going to come back across the river a bit further along the map, so towards the east. And then we're going to carry on with the tour around, taking the rest of the sell points and things on the map. It's very cool. And it's got a very different feel to any other map. Sometimes you get maps that feel fairly similar. And there's nothing wrong with that. I do like that. There's a kind of feeling of safety and security when you get that. I know on FS19 we had a lot of Polish maps. And some Polish maps that were by the same map makers, and they all had a very similar feel because they were made by the same map makers. They were using the same texture palette, colour palette, that kind of thing. And they were all different in their own right, but they all had a feeling of familiarity. But this really stands out. I think just the design of it, the layout of it. So down off, yeah, which is the escarpment. That's a cliff there. There's nothing as well stopping you when you come on to do a Let's Play. Stuff like that, we've got that bit there down right by the river. If you buy that plot of just bringing down stone, put in a buy silo, buy a load of stone, put it all down there, then start your Let's Play, and you can have stone quarries wherever you want. You can landscape some stuff and put some stuff in. So we've got another transfer station for logs just here. It's another log point with another rent train point just off to the left. We're going to cross the railroad in the UK, railroad in the US, I think, Canada as well. And this is where we come across our logging equipment that we've got in our start machinery. This is where you'll find it, and the second of the John Deeres as well. Again, if you don't want to do logging, you can sell it all off, but I do like the fact it's kind of here already kind of doing logging operations, and both of the pieces of Rotner equipment need full maintenance. They're dirty, they look like they've been used a lot, and they're out here, the forwarder and the tree harvester, and then we've got the John Deere with the small logging trailer on the back. Very cool. Continuing north then. We have got to my right the next point. Now this is a weird one because this is a sell point, not a production chain, but you do need to buy the plot of land. As we look through there, there's no trigger, no icon showing. We go back to the map, we've come all the way back through there, down this escarpment there, up past here, we're now here. So this plot of land here, 13,000, not too expensive at all. And then we get the GCHB grain elevator sell point, just there. And then we come to, now this looks like a sawmill, and it is technically a sawmill. We've got a rent train point And this is the next part of information that when you read the description, I read it and you kind of read it a couple of times and think, okay, hang on, what does it actually mean? So just here, it says, train wood yard has invisible sell point under shed, so when train passes, it sells instantly. So what you do is you bring your lumber here, we can bring your lumber here, there's a sell point, apparently. Invisible, I'm assuming. I can't work out, I haven't actually bought any lumber here. There's not a trigger to click. And then when the train passes, it sells? That's what it says. Maybe you put it down within here. When we own this plot, oh no, we don't own this plot, hang on, let's just buy that. How much is that? 43 grand. Yeah, so no extra triggers pop up. That does say train would sell, but there's no icon for, yeah, that's what it's saying, train would sell. You put your lumber here and when the train goes past it sells it. It's a curious one, again, something I haven't really come across before. So that's on the railroad. Oh, hang on. Oh, I know, sorry, you don't put your logs there, do you? It's a sell point. What its meaning is, it's just suddenly dawned on me. If you've collected lumber from other parts of the map and you've loaded your train up with lumber, when the train comes through with lumber on it, it sells it there directly from the train. You're not putting it on the train, it's taking it off the train. So when, such an idiot. When the train comes through laden with logs, it will sell it. So you can sell from the train directly. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Of course it does. So for all you people that were shouting at the screen before, I suddenly had that moment of, well, an epiphany, a moment of realisation from here then. So we're coming into the actual sawmill proper, if you want to call it that. Now, like I said, on New Farmer, you do start with this one. Farm management start from scratch, you need to buy the plot. So sawmill, as far as production chains go, is over here. So click on that, we'll get our production chain for our wood planks. Actually, did I look at the wrong thing? Oh no, that's a carpentry. So wood planks. So you put your logs on there, click on that for sell wood, or obviously now you own it, that will go into your production chain. Your wood chip byproduct will come out just there when it's producing, and your pallets will spawn there of your planks. Now, over here, we have also got just a lumber sell point. So if you don't want to run a production chain, you just want to sell your lumber, and you're not selling lumber on the train, as we just worked out, you can just bring lumber here and sell it. So that's a separate sell point just for lumber, if you want to do that. And then we have got a fuel tank just over there. And again, massive open area, so you can put all sorts of stuff on here, whatever you want to. The world is your mollusk. So, go back to the map. Let's see where we are now. We came up, GCHB, the train would sell, down to the sawmill with those 2 points there. We come back on this road, we're coming back into the main town. And that's the map. We've done the route round. We've even been up through the forestry to the quarry where I've had a look round. That's the map. I'm just checking on my list. Have I missed anything? Don't think I have. Hope not. If I have, I apologise, but that's the map. HILLIBEE Creek by Gamer Designs. I really like it. I like it because it feels different. I like it because it's a lot of scope. There's a lot of scope to do what you want, but like I say, that does come with a potential warning that if there are future improvements, updates, changes to the map, there's always that risk that you might have to have a new save game. This point here, I don't think had anything on it, did it? I'm pretty sure, no, that's all part of that, which we've already got. There's no sell points, I don't think that opens. No, thought I'd better check that. That's the map. Hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.